Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I really hope you're having a great day. And today I was just going through a book called Tools of Titans. I'm sure it's a wonderful book with a lot of information and a lot of insights from the great successful entrepreneurs, you can say. Out of which I liked one a good line from Scott Adams, which is losers have a goals, and winners have a systems. And there's one important topic he touched, which I just wanted to go through and see how we can put that in place and see if that can help you in your life moving further. Logic of double or triple effect. What it means is that he categorizes these in three baskets. One is to live a life average and successful. There's no magic formulas you need to go through. He just says that stay out of the trouble, finish your education as early as possible, and find a decent job. And let's say I just want to add a couple of things to it. Find a decent job as early as possible the moment you finished education. Don't wait for the best opportunities and lose your time. So the experience will make you take a lot of decisions in the later stages. So find as soon as something which comes to you and explore the learnings through the experience, and then also from the day one, just have a basic discipline of saving, investing, and then stay long enough, and then you will pretty much have a decent life. If you look back, that just wanted to be average, reasonably successful in everything you do, and that's so there is no magic formulas for that, and the only thing lacks, and that is a self-discipline, and then make sure that you have that from the day one, right? So it's very simple. Stay out of the trouble, finish your education, find a job as soon as possible, and have those experience, and whatever the money you're making, start saving. Don't spend more than what you make, and start investing. Stay long enough, and you fairly will have a reasonable life for you and your family and loved ones. And the number two, he goes also, it's kind of a difficult thing, but it's not impossible stuff, right? So you have to be in the top 1% of everything you do. Now let's say what is the top 1% and one thing, and you focus on one thing and you master it. Now you talk about a lot of athletes, sportsmen, business entrepreneurs, and they start long enough, and a similar principle applies, but then you're focusing on one thing and one thing only from the day one. Now what is that? Well, you can be a number one sports star in any of the sports you like. Let's say cricket. Let's say you want to be a Virat Kohli, a Dhoni, or the top stars. Where the rest of the life and everything can takes care of it. Now let's talk about the big businesses, or in a football, like you want to be like a Ronaldo, Messi, and so on and so forth. So what are the odds from where you stand at this point of time that becoming number one in one chosen field, which can take care of itself in many aspects, and then later stages as well? So be it money, fame, and success, and everything follows, right? But then there is a lot of hard work. I don't think that Ronaldo just woke up on one day and then he became number one in anything he does. So does Messi, so does Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, Dhoni, and any sportsman, you name it. And also a lot of businesses the same way functions. They stick to, let's talk about Amazon, like they stick to one thing from the beginning, stayed long enough, and then everything as an ripple effect of stay consistent in one thing. You talk about the big businesses, Apple, Facebook, and so on and so forth. In India, there's so many things as well. But it's a long story. But you got to be in a 1% of the top of the world. Now, what are the odds? And take your own inventories and skills and see, can you be that person? Number one. That may or may not possible. It's not impossible. Now, let's go back to the one which he recommends and which we all can strive to do. We try to strive to be in a top 25%. What does it mean? That let's say, for example, that you have one skill, but then slowly you start adding one more skill to it. or the third skill, if you could, if you would, the time what we have, that if you wanted to really utilize that verb. And these all start with when you have a clear vision on where you are heading and all these aspects, right? Now, one or two skills, let's say you're very good at writing, and then or something that you love, and then you add, and on top of that you add another skill towards, let's say, talking about it, speaking in public engagements, and so on and so forth. So eventually your skill you're good at, and then you add another skill, which is, let's say, public speaking, and then probably you will become, anything you add to your skill, one or two additional top-ups, let's say, then you become very good at comparatively the society where you live, or the opportunities you get. Someone wants to, you can be a great programmer, but at the same time, how you put across, probably you learn a couple of skills in order for you to be a better person, a better at delivering that product, service, and whatever the aspects, you name it. So the third part, probably we all should aim to focus, because let's say I'm in 46 now, and then I'm pretty much, even though can be ambitious and I can go with a lot of affirmations day in and day out, but then to becoming a number one cricket player in the world may and may not be possible. So does football athletes, boxing, or whatever, you name it. But at the same time, can I had my path from my professional career for, let's say, for now 20-25 years. Now, what are the things that I can add? I can reasonably live a, let's say, successful life. There's no harm in it. But then, can I add one or two more skill at this point of time, which can lift up the experience through the experience I had with the skill, and then adding additional skills can, let's say, allow talking. I like to, explore and then share my experience. And so if I'm fearful about talking in public, that probably will not add value to the others. So what if I take my experience all these years and then add or develop my skill as in a public speaking, and then see if that can add value to the people. In that process, probably I can lift up to myself to the next level. And just a small example I'm giving. So you can try to find those things that which can help you to lift up, and try to we can strive to be in the top 25% rather than 1%. Well, if you're starting enough, and nothing is, all these three buckets are, it's not impossible or anything. The first thing can happen, all you require is damn discipline, and then once you have this, be it in health, wealth, prosperity, everything will follow. But at the same time, looking at it, talking about it, knowing about it will not move the needle not even an inch further, unless until you act on it in everything you believe that can work, be it investments, be it in your work, be it in your professional environments, games, and so on and so forth. So does the same thing happens to the one who wanted to stay in the top 1%. So does the one who wants to stay or else try to be there in top 25%. So I really hope that the three buckets of where you want to see yourself, whichever the age you are in, everything is possible. But at the same time, most importantly, is that you need to have a clear vision and where you want to go, and also putting those learnings, and then education is important, but then putting them into the action is most critical part of your life for anything to move forward in your life. I really hope that helps, and it really triggered me. The way he expressed in the book is different than through the things that which I put across. I really hope that really gets into your head, and then see. I really want you to see that to be on top 1% of the population, around out of 9 billion people, but if not, at least try to be in top 25% of everything you give, and to the value to the people around you, and then you still can do extremely well if you stay on top of 90%. Or else, you can be reasonably be successful, and and whichever the areas of your life. But at the same time, for that also, everything, the needle only moves when you take an action and see where you want to see. And I really hope that I want you to see you in top 1% of the world. I really hope this helps you to plan your life. At the same time, I really wish that I want you to see you and top 1% of your achieving everything you do. If not, aim for 25. If not, stay consistent, stay disciplined, action, and then you still have a successful life at your hand. Thanks for watching. I really hope that helps.